After a lot of experimentation, I managed to find the configuration that brings me the best performance, and that was by throwing absolutely every single SSD I had available into the G5 and put it in RAID 0. So at the beginning of the test, you can see that the current setup saturates the possibility of the G5 with its PCI Express bus first generation, all drives together, plus the two SATA I drives. They will go almost at the theoretical possibility of between 700 and 800 megabytes per second. You can see here that the minimal numbers are influenced by when the system hits only the SATA I SSDs. For the write performance, you get maximum performance when the system is writing, of course, at the PCI attached SATA disks, but you get some really minimal slow performance. And I think the system reads from all drives, but it doesn't record all of them simultaneously. I think it does some sort of round robin around the drives, so sending one bit or byte, not a byte for sure, but a block, perhaps 32K block, a 32K block to every single device going around. So you get some decent average and quite low minimum write rates that are caused by the SATA I attached devices. Since my setup is completely duplicate, I have two SATA II disks compatible with SATA I bus, and I have two cards supporting 4 SSDs, and I have 4 SSDs of the same capacity installed on them. I'm thinking of initially having half of it for macOS 10 and half of it for Linux, and use the onboard SATA bus as boot drive, and then do some clever partitioning and clever hard linking to make the best use of the PCIe SATA drives for system performance. However, I don't use much Linux on the G5 nowadays because I have the Intel station, and I never use Linux for performance-driven applications and more for like server and backups, etc. So I may actually or dedicate everything to macOS 10, or even sell one of the cards. I already have a buyer, and see how it goes.